Yo guys, what's going on? My name's Chris. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to talk about a very important election coming up if you live in the state of Connecticut specifically. That election is the 2022 midterm elections, a very important election for the state of Connecticut and the direction that we will be going in over the next few years. And there are three potential big names on this ballot for governor, which is most important for this show. And those names are his liege, Ned Lamont, Bob Stefanowski, who barely lost to Lamont in 2018, and Themis Claridis. What do you think is going to happen? Fundamentally, guys, I really want to know who you think is going to win the midterm elections this year. Bob, maybe Ned, someone else? Go ahead and drop what you think in the comment section below and tell me why you think that's who's going to win, because fundamentally, I want to be educated as well. I gather all the facts, and this is what I present. However, you might see it a different way, and if you do, let's talk about it. I'm completely open to talking about it. If you think anyone's going to win or someone else that we don't talk about, drop a comment, and while you're there, smash that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. I really feel the 2022 midterm elections is going to be a close one. I could feel it. And really dictate where our local government is going to go approaching 2025. Now, first, let's discuss who everybody thought was going to run for governor. However, she is not. Themis Claridis, quote, "As I've traveled the state for the last 8 months, voters have shared their frustration with the dysfunctional, do-nothing federal government that values rigid partnership and political gamesmanship above hard work and compromise required to solve many problems facing our country," Claridis said. "Rather than offer a single solution to control inflation, crime, and get our people working, Senator Blumenthal has pledged his loyalty to party leaders and embraced the culture of dysfunction. I am running for U.S. Senate to challenge the status quo that has seen so many lose faith in our government. In the Senate, my sole loyalty will be to building a better quality of life for the people of Connecticut. I've been heartened by the enthusiastic encouragement I've received and am excited to continue the dialogue about the issue most important to Connecticut," Claridis says. Claridis, 56 years old, announced recently that she was pivoting from the governor race to seek the party's nomination for U.S. Senate. The announcement confirms statewide rumors that she would try to prevent Blumenthal from winning a 36-year term after assessing her chances of defeating Lamont, who spent $16 million of his own money to win the 2018 election over Stefanowski. Bob Stefanowski pledges to spend $10 million of his own money to unseat Ned Lamont. Themis Claridis just spent $400,000 of her own money to poll the voters in Connecticut and hire consultants on what to do with that data that she invested in. And she pivoted from the governor race to the Senate race, and I respect that. I think she sees a bigger opportunity to help Connecticut on the federal level. Her eyes are set to fry bigger fish, and I agree with her vision. So here's the question. Who's in the race? With the election for Connecticut governor still 10 months away, the candidates have been spending their own money, particularly on polling in the start of the battle as 2022 race unfolds. Governor and current Ned Lamont, who's spent more than $40 million of his own money on 3 previous runs for statewide office, has contributed $210,000 of his own personal checks to start the latest campaign, which means he will be running for re-election of governor. Now, we all know Ned Lamont, and we're going to get to what I think he's done here shortly. Before we get into that, let's talk about the major runner against Ned Lamont in this election coming November 8th, 2022. Bob Stefanowski, former Republican candidate for Connecticut. Bob Stefanowski is entering the 2022 governor's race, which means he's officially announced his bid. Stefanowski ran against Ned Lamont in 2018 election and lost. The Madison Republican lost 650,000 to Lamont's 695,000 votes, meaning Bob lost by about 45,000 votes overall, which is considered a narrow defeat. Bob goes on to say, Connecticut has some of the most honest, hardworking people in the country, but we are being shortchanged by leaders prioritizing politics over people. Over the past 3 years, our state has become less affordable and more dangerous for the good people who live, work, and go to school here. We already have the highest taxes, utilities, and childcare costs in the country, and runaway inflation is making it even worse. Nearly everything is more expensive in Connecticut than the rest of the country. Stefanowski also criticized Lamont's handling of the pandemic in the state. Quote, for close to 2 years now, Ned Lamont has damaged emergency authorities to universally direct how the state responds to this pandemic, and he might request a 7th extension of these powers next month. While he might have tried his best, it has become increasingly apparent with Omicron that Lamont has failed Connecticut, Bob goes on to say. Before I give my opinion, let's just talk some facts here. Bob is capitalizing on the crime rate here in Connecticut, which New Haven and Hartford in 2021 has seen the highest crime rate ever in their history. Keep in mind, those towns have been around since the 1600s. Also, he's also discussing the inflation rate, which is a federal situation. It's a government, it is a country situation. However, in Connecticut, fundamentally speaking, you see us as front runners with like our price of gas, for instance, among other things. Ned Lamont, the other runner here and current reigning champion, has been executing his executive orders for 2 years now, which gives him undebatable power to set things in place without laws being needed. He's going to play the other side of the ball, justifying his tyrannical use of executive orders and how he kept us safe. Sound familiar? No matter what, these two will go at it again, and regardless of the side of the fence you're on, you stepping out and casting a vote in November will be important not only for your future, but most importantly, the generation of children that have been so heavily affected in the past 2 years and arguably has ruined that generation. I know I will be paying close attention to both of these guys. And if other people come about and cast a potential residency to gain the governorship of Connecticut, what will they say? And more importantly, what will their actions say after what they've said is public? I do not claim to know the answer, but I do claim to know that if you pay attention to and vote when it comes time, you can make a difference. And that is truly what is most important when it comes to any level of government In this case, our local governor election coming in 10 months. So, guys, that's the show. That's what I got for you. Right now, we got Bob and Ned going head to head. Who do you think is going to win? Do you think another person will come out of the blue, maybe an independent or a libertarian or a moderate Democrat or moderate Republican? What do you think? Who do you think is going to win? Drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. Let's have open dialogue about it. Educate me, help me. And while you're there dropping that comment, smash that like button and subscribe. I'll see you next time, guys.